Welcome to the show once again. My name is Tallia, your night nurse. Thank you very much for tuning in, and make sure you check out my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It is all at Tallia Oyando. That is Tallia with a double L. And as you post out the comments, let me know where you're tuned in from, what country you're representing, and some of your favorite artists that we can get on the show. Today I have none other than one of my favorite people in the world, Duane Stephenson.
Bless him, man. Glad to be with you once again. Different circumstances.
Yes, good to have you here. Duane Stephenson from Augustown.
Well, I should be saying that.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Yeah. I'm happy to be in Jamaica. Jamaica is a beautiful place. It's like home for me.
Yeah, man, it's a good vibe, man. What can I say? We created our own little oasis here,
Yeah, the weather is good. The people are nice. People are friendly. I've met a lot of people, so it's been great being
here. Yeah, man, good vibe, man, so far.
Yeah. You've been here all your life? Jamaica?
Yeah, I've always lived here. I mean, I've traveled to many places, but I always returned, man. I've never left without a return date.
Never left without a return date. Always come back home.
Yeah, man.
Home is best.
Yeah.
All right, I knew you used to be in a band before.
To ISIS.
Tell us about that.
Well, To ISIS was really a 7-member group. We started out as boys, just leaving high schools, we met in a group called the Tallia Players, which is was a young people performing arts corps here in Jamaica. They're very rooted in our culture right now because they did dance, drama, and singing stuff. So a lot of the people that you see today that excel a lot in from theater, there are people from the club that has left and started their own companies abroad in Europe, the United States, people on Broadway. So they really accomplished a lot through theater. So that's where we started. But I mean, I did that for almost 9 years,
Wow.
But then
long time ago? Got a long time ago?
Yeah, it's just about 10 years now since I left the group,
so you were the group for 9 years and then you left the group
and
10 years ago.
2 years after I left the group, I became my first solo project, Duane Stephenson from Augustown, produced by Dean Fraser.
Yes. And that was what year? That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was
2009, 2008?
2008.
2008,
2008,
That's when it came out. I remember when Augustown came out and everybody was like, who is that? Who is that? Was that your very first, your breakout single? Would you say that would be your breakout single?
It was as a solo artist, but that was on the album there was a re-recording of Get Up Here, which we had released earlier.
Yeah.
That was my first professional recording as a part of the group, and it was also produced by Dean Fraser. But Augustown definitely was a breakthrough point for me, that album, because then I could finally get to tell my own stories and just about life and how I view things and how people view me from where I came from and everything. So it was very important to me. It was a very important album to me, not only for the sake that it got me success and stuff, but just to get the what I had in my head out there.
Yeah. And what was the inspiration behind the main title of the album, the song itself?
Augustown. It was what was happening in Augustown at the time, and it was actually the last song that was recorded for the album.
Yeah.
And it was written because of a friend of mine that died in gang violence. I wouldn't say it was a perfect person, but it came from a conversation that I had with him. So it was truly what was happening in terms of the whole football field thing and everything. In terms of my age group, that was the first time that we were exposed to a certain level of violence growing up in Augustown, because before that it was a working class community.
Yeah.
We all went to school, and a Saturday or a Sunday we all had to pick a day, but you had to go to church.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of vibe, everybody was going through the whole high school thing, adolescent kind of, early adolescent kind of vibe, and I mean, that was a turning point.
That was a turning point. Growing up, everybody around you into music?
Yeah, I had family members that was, my uncle at the time used to be with the band that toured with Gregory Isaac for many years, a band called Rhythm Kings Band. So I used to go to some of the rehearsals. So I was always loving music, but not so much involved in it as a boy, because I didn't like the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of stayed in the background up until almost the end of high school. Man.
Yeah. And you were singing in church too?
I didn't do so much in church, but I remember I was once thrown on the and the choir at New Providence Primary School to be a part of a choir. And then with the debut performance of the choir, everybody panicked and it became a solo.
And you ended up just being the only one doing it.
Being the only voice and everybody there looking at me. Wow.
Did you think that music was something you wanted to do at that point?
At that point, no, not so much. You know, I don't think I really got serious about music up until I joined the Catholic Players. I mean, this was always something I wanted, had some interest in. You know? But that's the point where it really got serious for me. You know, when you start to go out there and rehearse, start to audition for all the parts in the club, and things got a little bit more serious. And then I realized that I could really excel in this. And then the writing actually came along, and I used to do a lot of writing even then. But
for different artists or just for
no,
yourself?
just for myself. I never actually wrote for other artists aside from the group. And a lot of the songs that I wrote for the group, they didn't like because they say it was old people music.
Oh yeah, that's what they said?
Yeah, because I was writing roots tunes, like Heaven Will Rise Up and all them kind of tune, and them wasn't in them thing. They were more into the whole Usher vibe and all them things. So I liked Usher, but it wasn't the vibe for me. I mean, I was more a Peter Touch brother.
Yeah, it wasn't the kind of music that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Well, what do you like listening to? Like, what kind of music?
Roots music is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the more radical, the better, because I always like and think that music can always, should be channeled to changing the world. So, I've always been deeply rooted in that kind of thing. And of course, I love to listen to great vocalists.
Yeah.
I listen to from Pavarotti to Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't so much a Britney Spears fan because I didn't think she pronounced the words right.
Yeah. Britney Spears.
But Christina Aguilera definitely used to tune in to rock out to
so you were Team
tunes.
Christina?
Somewhat, because she was a powerhouse vocal and I love that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
she has great vocals,
Yeah, but I was always in tune to people like, I love Gregory Isaac because of his vibe and energy. I never thought that he was the greatest singer among them, of course, that was, to me, between John Holt and Jimmy Cliff. It's always been that, but I think, I really learned a lot from listening to those music and trying to emulate them, those two in particular. But in terms of the radicalism, it had to have been Peter Tosh. And then, of course, years after I started listening to Lucky Dube.
Yeah, our African Bob Marley, that's what we like to call him. He was a great artist.
He was.
And his group too, the Slaves, when they came through the music, that was really, really good.
Yeah, man, powerful musician, powerful artist.
Amazing artist from South Africa. Alright, tell us about Exalted Jedi.
Exalted Jedi is the latest album from once again, I think it's the growth of my state of mind and also my ability as an artist. It's a little bit different, a little bit more hardcore, but also a little bit way more hopeful. I think because we got to a state here. We've heard all the ills and stuff like that, and it's so hard to get by in music, but we have to find a way. We have to push on. So, it's a hopeful album, of course, But the theme, Exalted Dreadites, to me, it represents what the original Dreadites represent. It was of course, it had to have been some kind of relative to Augustown. So Dreadites is a part of Augustown.
Yeah.
It's really, majestic, not majestic. Bedwood Gardens, a part of Bedwood Gardens, but it was a part called Dreadites because when Rastas were being persecuted, a lot of them, formed their own community at that side, of course, to protect each other and just for a support system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, the album Dreadites, the Exalted Dreadites mean the same thing. For the music, it's a support system.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard right now to really get by singing positive roots music, It's not the popular thing to do anymore.
True.
You know what I mean? Thank God that, Buju might have changed that whole narrative the other day. Hopefully it goes a far way in doing that, you know what I mean? So that's basically where the idea came from for Exalted Dreadites. Just like the music is being persecuted now, the Rastas were being persecuted then. So, they set up a community for, hope.
Yeah. How would you differentiate the two between that and Augustown?
Well, Augustown was very personal one, and Augustown was for that time. Not that things has changed vastly and everything, but I think right now the albums that I put out have a more worldly perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that would definitely be the difference. And then, as I said, the growth. Because if you're doing something you're not growing, then what's the sense, man?
Yeah.
What's the sense?
What's the sense? Cool Runnings, big tune, especially right now in Kenya. We loved it as, you know, the original. Then you came through and you gave it a little bit of Duane. And we saw you dancing a little bit in the video, you know, because we're not used to Duane dancing. We're used to Duane being serious, you know, being very conscious, you know, telling us this and this and that. Then you came with Cool Runnings. Why that song?
Well, one, you know, it's a song that I love. A song that I've always loved, you know. Me's a Bunny Wailer fan, you know, because as much, you know, I always pick out the vocalist in the group, and I always thought the superior vocalist in Wailers is always Bunny
Wailer.
You know, but he have a little strange edge to him that people don't understand. But his music, especially his dancehall oriented stuff, is really, really, really the foundation of what dancehall is coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of time people like to think that, yeah man, them that roots music. No, them things was original dancehall music.
Yeah.
That's where it coming from. You know, so of course, you know, I always love that swing, so I decide that, you know, get in on this swing and make them understand. You know, bring it forward to a new generation.
Yeah. Man, that's a beautiful song, man. I feel like it's timeless, and when you came through and you made it your own and you gave it your little twist, you know.
Yeah, you can't go too far from the original because, you know,
you didn't switch it. You didn't switch it up too much. So it was still, you could still hear the original on it, but there was a little bit of Duane in it too.
One.
Okay, so you had Cool Runnings, and you say that you are a Bunny Wailer fan.
Yes, I.
Was it easy picking that song, or you had other songs that you were thinking of doing and you settled with Cool Runnings?
No, it was never a settlement for me. It was a song that I wanted to do.
Cool Runnings.
Yeah, it was a song. Whenever I get to doing albums, there's always a song that I want to do. Because we do it for two reasons. We did, you know, of course, to pay homage to those before us, and also for the sake of publishing, you know. Because a lot of times in an album, you know, they would stipulate as record labels, you know, we pay on the first 12 songs of publishing and whatever, and then the rest whatever. So you do them things to protect yourself, you know what I mean? And also to reintroduce them songs to a whole new generation. You know? So it was the song that, just like, you know, back in the days when I was doing Cottage in the Grill, you know. Dean left and went on a tour, and when he came back, the whole structure of the song was pretty much done. I went in with some friends, I did the basic track, all that was done because I just couldn't wait.
You could wait.
You know what I mean?
Had to be done then.
Yeah, so, and sometimes that's how you have to really move with it, man. You have to move with your spirit, man.
Any other covers you're going to do? Or like other songs you feel like you want to bring out?
There are a few, and when after this album comes out, you know, Exaltation, it's 10. Of course, there's also two on that album. There's one that was originally done by a virgin named Desmond Young. A lot of people know him as Desi Roots, but a lot of people don't know that he was such a great artist and such a great songwriter. That song is going to really, you know, surprise a lot of people. You know what I mean? Song name Children in Exile.
That's the one.
Yeah, man. Children in Exile, written by Desmond Young, aka Desi Roots. A lot of people know him as the Music Federation president for many years.
Yeah.
So people have forgotten about the legacy that he put forward back in the days.
Yeah. And the other one?
And the other one, you have to wait and see, man.
It's one of those, huh? It's one of those. You're about to break the internet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I have to wait and see, man. Because that's a song that I had to enter in an exchange program, because this virgin that did this song, you know, recorded this song many years ago, and this song really hit, you know. And this song wasn't performed by him for more than probably a month or two, because of course, you know, he totally converted his life to, you know, being a Christian pastor.
Yeah.
So the song for many years was just not performed, and in many places never been performed. You know what I mean? It's a song that people love and everything. So of course it's a virgin of mine. So I said, listen, man, I want to do over this song in the style, but you know the thing is, I say, well, of course, as long as I write a tune for rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did, you know, so it would definitely be something nice, something refreshing for the people. You know, on both sides. On both sides.
On both sides. And talking of writing tunes, which you just mentioned, you write music for all different artists too.
Yeah, I have. With the last portion of writing I did some tracks on the last album that Alba Rosie meets Wailers. I did a few songs of that track, including the track that he did with Beresford Hammond, which was someone that I wanted to write for many years.
Yeah.
So that's one more tick off the bucket list. You know what I mean? But I do have done stuff for Jack Ure.
Yeah, my favorite Jack Ure song was written by Duane.
Nesbeth. Of course, Luciano.
Yeah.
And I mean a few other people, some well known, some not so much. You know. But for a while I wasn't doing much writing or anything. And the truth is, for a while I wasn't doing much of anything. I just kind of took a step back, and then I went on the road with the Wailers for about 2 to 3 years, which I think opened my eyes on a lot of aspects of the music business. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just need to take a break and see new things, and that's what I did, man.
That's what you did.
Yeah, for about 3 years being the opening act for the Wailers and also being a part of their show. And as I say, I learned a lot from it, and there's no regret, no regrets.
Yeah, you did that for 2 years?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And it was a great experience for you?
It was. I got to share stage with the family man, I got to sit and talk to him in tour buses just to hear his stories and just to see how the music works at that level. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was really eye-opening.
And getting to experience that, what would you tell, some of the young artists that we have right now who feel like, they've made it? There's some who just feel like they've made it. Everything is good. Everything is fine.
There's very few young artists we can refer to today and say they've made it. Very few. It's very hard to. So to think that you've made it means that you plan to not learn and to excel, and that would be very, very unfortunate because the music changes every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to be up to date with the music and the business aspect of it. So I learned that much. Plus, you're never too old to learn, and you have to remain humble and keep that fire burning from inside, or else, it will burn out, man.
It will burn out.
Yeah.
You're not going to be young forever, and, every single day there are different artists who are coming
Exactly.
through. Like right now, there's Coffee. Like she came out of, nowhere, and she's doing her thing. So which young artists are you listening to right now? Which some of those new artists, who are you listening to, or who are you feeling?
This virgin Mortimer. I like him vibe.
Yeah.
Mortimer is a big singer.
Yeah.
And that little what's Ike Lee? That's her name.
Lila Ike. Yeah,
yes.
Lila Ike.
I love her vibe. I love her vibe definitely. So those two definitely, I've been tuning into, and of course Kumar, but I can't say Kumar is a young artist no more. I know Kumar is a long time. I know Kumar is a big writer from a long time.
Yeah, he's a big writer and a great artist.
And I love to see that, he stepped out and he's doing his thing now. So of course, I've always, loved what he brought to the forefront. But in terms of young artists, those two definitely. Mortimer is I'm a fan.
Yeah, you're a huge fan.
Yeah, man.
All right, before we let you go, I always love asking this because, of course, you have fans from all over the world who are very young, and a lot of them, or even an upcoming artist. What kind of advice, what piece of advice would you give them, in terms of maybe life or whatever it is that they want to do?
I say, whatever you want to do, first you have to really educate yourself. That will be the foundation of everything that you do. You want to do music is so much easier when you've educated yourself to the other aspects of it. And remember, stay true to who you are, because that's truly the one thing that that them can't turn up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can sing a song in a particular vibe, somebody might sing the same vibe,
Yeah.
Somebody, but no one will truly be you. So once you put yourself to the forefront, then that there'll be no duplication.
Yeah.
So don't try with the next Chronic Rasta, don't try with the next Taurus Riley, next Duane Stephenson, or even the next Bob Marley. Try with the first you. Can't go wrong with that Rasta.
Be the first you. That's great advice. It's been great having you here with us. Hopefully we'll see you again in Kenya, especially because you have a lot of fans. I know you've been to Kenya.
Yes,
before.
but I still haven't performed a concert.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we need
the
to.
The last time was a vacation. You know what I mean?
But it was a good vacation, right?
Listen, man. I enjoyed myself. You know, was maximum joy, and I was out there with Ken Ring. I was doing some recording in Sweden, and then we just kind of took a break from recording on an acoustic tour that we had going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was such a pleasure. I'm glad that I came down there. I know most people think, "Oh, the place far, if I could do a show." No, man, just rope in, man.
Yeah,
you know
you came. It was
and
a
I
good
went
time.
down to the beach. Well, trust me.
You had a good time.
It most definitely.
Does it feel like home?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely. You know what I mean? It's just that, you know, I think we have the same kind of advance and the same kind of problems. You know, it's just that because of the mass of people, you know, it might be multiplied a bit, but you know, it's the same struggles we're having. You know what I mean? I went down to Mathar. We went down to Madari, and you know what I mean. You meet youths and talk to them and everything, and the same issues we are facing. You know what I mean? There are some equality issues that need to be sorted out. You know, just like here in Jamaica. You know what I mean? So the struggles are the same because we're coming from the same place. You know, I think so. We just need to straighten them things out, and work life can be so much better, and there's so much potential and possibilities for the future, and you know what I mean?
That is very true. That is very true. I agree with you 100%. And I see a lot of, you know, all this, even the young kids who feel like, you know, I want to do this, but I can't do this because I don't live the way this other person is living. Or
No. Let me tell you something, man. One thing I've learned over the years is that many things that would face a man who, you know, grew up with the so-called gold spoon in their mouth doesn't face a man coming from a harder background, because, you know, sometimes it's amusing to see what a man that grew up with a gold spoon consider as an obstacle. Yeah. That to you is a day. Yeah. It's a regular day I wake up, you know. That's a regular morning, you know, like some people brush them teeth, you know, say, boy, alright, you know, you just get up out in your bed, you bathe, you go to boom, you jump over classes, you're gone to school. You know what I mean? And them kind of vibe, you know, you leave home on the way to school, you know, so boy, you have to kind of, you know, you crawl under the whole vibe of you know, the monetary constraints and them kind of things. So use it as a fire to move forward, man. But you can't say you can't, man, you know what I mean? Yeah. Can't should be in your vocabulary, right? It don't make any sense, because the truth is almost 90% of black money you see out there. We never, you know, most of what we had, there was an interruption. And everything was taken away. So when you say a black man of them days is because they had them work feet. You understand what I say? And unlike 30 or 40 years ago, there are so much more examples to look at to say, yes, say a man of color there, a move through and an excel and a whatever. We just need to promote them and use them as examples to move forward and push on through. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because our hurdles will never be the same as the other class or colors, you know. It will always be a little bit rougher. The road will always be harder, but you know, as soon as you reach, it's solid as a rock, man. And you need to work harder. That's how it is, man. Yeah. Alright. Duane Stephenson, thank you so much for coming through. Pleasure is mine. Blessed love.